It is Thursday, September 7th. I'm heading up Muskoka Road 38 to hook up with my boys, Mike and Andrew. We're going portaging. 4-day portage. It's going to be amazing. Look at this place. The idea was to do 4 lakes in 3 days and set up camp in 2 different islands. So we met up at Mike's cottage in 9 Mile Lake, which would be the start of our expedition. We talked about last-minute details in preparation for what would become an incredible 3 days. And yes, we had a beer or 2 over the fire that night, and it was hard to go to sleep. I would say excitement was high. And by 8 a.m. Friday morning, we were on our way to our first campsite. Mike had done extensive research of all 4 lakes, so we felt quite confident about the logistics of the trip. We had a 10-kilometer canoe ride to our campsite with some amazing scenery and beautiful islands to camp and explore. And even though 9 Mile Lake has some cottages, about 95% of it, it's crown land. Once we found the island we wanted, we set up camp and familiarized ourselves with it. We fished all around, and Andrew even showed us as to why he is a true bushman.
Hey, it's a trait. There we go. That's it, it's gone.
In reality, what we wanted was to really embrace the disconnect from this wild world we live in. Oh, we disconnected, all right. I would just add that I'm glad a bear didn't show up. We wouldn't have put up much of a fight. By Saturday morning, we woke up to a majestic day. We could not have asked for better weather. Look at this. We had breakfast with incredible views. And nothing will make you feel more alive than an early shower a la Tarzan style.
Day 2.
We packed up all the gear and paddled to our first portage as we fished and admired the beauty of such a place. The first portage was the longest of the weekend, about 1 kilometer long and not extremely difficult. Unless your name was Andrew, of course, which had to carry a heavy canoe and all the gear by himself in one trip like a savage. We crossed from 9 Mile to Turtle Lake. Turtle Lake is a small lake, I would say is between 4 and 5 kilometers long and 100% crown land. There's no access to this lake other than hiking or from the air. We fished the best spots as we glided towards the next portage that would take us to Brotherson Lake and our next campsite. The next transfer was a little easier than expected due to high water levels, thanks in part by some massive beaver dams. Check this out. The portage from Turtle Lake to Brotherson Lake was about 700 meters long. And as soon as you got to the other side, our campsite was right across in a stunning island. Once again, we explored the island, we gathered wood, we set up camp. We started a fire and made lunch. For lunch, we had this military-grade type of food in a dehydrated bag that I was a bit skeptical about till I tried it. I could not believe how good these things were. They're light to carry around when you portage in, and they have all the nutrients and all the carbohydrate and energy that you will need for a heavy canoe day. Highly recommended. After lunch, we canoed the length of Brotherson Lake and fished our way back to camp. Tons of fish in this beautiful lake and not a single cottage. Again, 100% Crown land. By the time we got back to camp, it was almost dark, so we sparked a fire and ate dinner. We had about 10 dinners for 3 guys. We were so happy. For the third straight night, we sat by the fire and disconnected from civilization, from the interweb, from the matrix. It was a perfectly crisp 13-degree September night, a clear night, and the sky was just lit up with stars. Sleeping in a one-man tent without a roof, it was like being part of the Milky Way. Quite incredible. By Sunday morning, we woke up to yet another spectacular day. It was as if you could not tell the difference between the lake and the sky. Just breathtaking. We packed up all the gear, had a few cereal bars, and more than one coffee. Day 3. And we were off to the next lake and the final leg of our portage to Woodland Lake. The next portage was not very long, but it was quite difficult, with tight turns, big boulders, and overgrown vegetation. We decided to do 2 trips this time, one with the heavy backpacks and the second one with the canoes. Let me tell you something about this Woodland Lake. This lake is absolutely full of fish. We caught double header after double header. At times it was every other cast. It was majestic.
Wow, what a fish. Fish after fish after fish.
Fuck yeah! That was awesome. Oh my god!
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that's how we do it. That's 4 pounds right there, buddy. That might even be 5 pounds.
Woodland Lake has this remote fishing cabin where they fly people in and they pick them up when they've had enough. I thought it was somewhat of a myth until we saw it happening right in front of our eyes. There's no wonder people want to fish this lake. It's absolutely incredible. Woodland is connected to 9 Mile through the Gibson River. It takes an hour and a half paddling across a stunning landscape, which I wouldn't recommend in the heat of summer. The black flies, mosquitoes, horseflies, and bugs in general would devour you. So there it is. 3 days, 2 islands, 4 lakes, 0 bears, and countless memories. These last few days made me realize how important it is to disconnect from our hectic lives, from all responsibilities, from stress, and just get in touch with nature at its purest. It is truly a reset of the body, and most importantly, a reset of the mind. It's a big shout out to these two guys. Thank you, Mike and Andrew. I had a blast, and I can't wait till we do it again. I have the feeling this will become a September thing.